Cold emails, a must-have for any B2B sales team.
Today, I'm going to be giving you the blueprint for cold email success.
A cold email is any email that's sent to a prospective customer that hasn't requested it. In B2B, tech, and solution sales, their goal is to generate interest, start conversations, and book meetings with prospective buyers. Your subject line will be the very first thing that your recipient will see. It's going to be one of the main determining factors on whether or not your email gets open. And Lavender's data shows that the best performing subject lines almost look like internal emails, ones that you would send to your colleague or your boss. Boring is best. Capitalize the first letter of each word. No punctuation. Short, 1 to 3 words. No numbers. Super descriptive. With subject lines, it's helpful to think about it like this. Instead of trying to give your prospects reasons to open your email by standing out or being unique, instead, get rid of reasons why they might delete the email without ever opening it. Now, the only other thing to consider is your preview text. These are the few words at the very beginning of your email that your prospect will be able to see in their inbox. Just make sure this preview doesn't tip the reader off that your email is going to be rubbish. So you nailed your subject line, you got the open. Now it's time to nail the message itself, the meat and the potatoes of the email. Some general rules to keep in mind before we get into the content of the email itself. Rule number 1, the shorter, the better. Try and keep your email under 75 words. If anything, aim for 50. Your first impression with your prospect is 8 times more likely to happen on a mobile device. The vast majority of cold emails are written by sales reps, sat in their home office, looking at a desktop-sized screen. This leads to a huge disconnect because the emails look so different on the device that they're being opened on versus the one they're sent on. Short, mobile-optimized emails see 83% more replies. So make sure that your entire email can be read on a phone with no scrolling. Rule number 2, formatting. White space is your best friend. Break your email up into short paragraphs. You know how all LinkedIn posts are written like this? There's a reason for that. It's much more appealing to read this than it is that. Rule number 3, prioritize clarity over sounding smart. On average, a person only spends around 10 seconds reading each email in their inbox. Buzzwords, industry jargon, adverbs, long words, and long sentences all make your email harder to read at a glance. And Lavender's data shows that writing at a 3rd to 5th grade level gets you 67% more replies. In other words, write like a 10-year-old. Rule number 4, write the same way you speak. Even CFOs are humans, so talk like one. Emails written in an overly formal tone are much more likely to be ignored. But then again, bro, if you come in way too casual, you're not gonna get taken seriously. Haha. Your best bet is to use polite, friendly, positive, and confident tones in your writing. Rule number 5, deliverability is crucial. It doesn't matter how good your email is if it never even gets opened. And if your email gets sent to spam, it will likely never get seen. Including certain things in your email alerts these filters and sends your email to the spam folder. Here are some easy ways to avoid getting flagged as spam. Don't include links in your emails. Avoid including images and GIFs in your first email. Avoid spammy words like these ones. Avoid sending more than 50 cold emails a day per email address that you manage. Don't send too many emails in a short period of time. Space out your emails at least 5 minutes between each send. Make sure you use a reputable and warmed up domain so it doesn't get flagged by email clients. And rule number 6, cut the cliches. Now, the same way that technology has learned to spot spam emails, so have buyers. Their minds have learned from being sent thousands of emails to quickly sort out the chaff. And using really common cliches is a big one that gives your email away. So avoid overdone phrases like thank you in advance. I hope this finds you well. I'm sure you're busy. How are you? My least favorite, stay safe in these unprecedented times. These phrases add nothing to your email and immediately turn your buyers off. Now, onto the actual content of the email. Present day Will here, and you might have noticed this video was actually filmed a couple of years ago during my time while I was working for a company called Lavender. I was watching that video back and I felt like the tips that were shared in that video hold up extremely well even today. So I reached out to the team and asked if I could take the video, repost it on this channel for those of you in this audience who haven't seen it yet, because I feel like the content is valuable to you. That said, if you are having troubles writing cold emails, then I cannot recommend using Lavender enough. It's a great way to coach your emails, get feedback on them, and I believe they've even launched a new AI email generator called Aura. So head on over to lavender.ai and check that out if you're having a really hard time doing your emails. Back to the video. Since around 2018, 19, 20, the rise of email automation has meant that buyers are receiving more emails than ever. So the first thing you need to do is let them know that the email was written for them. The best way to do this and show them that your email isn't automated is personalize. Check out their website, look on their LinkedIn profile and company page. Take a look at their pricing and online store. Check out their reviews on other websites that might highlight problems that you can help with. Look for observations that you can include in the first line of your email that will let them immediately know that you've done your homework and haven't sent them an automated message. But be careful, you can't just find some random obscure fact on their LinkedIn profile and put it in an email. Like what school they went to. You can't just ram that into an email and expect them to care. I mean, sure, that's personalized, but if it's not relevant to what you're writing to them about, it doesn't matter. So whatever personalized observation you make, it has to tie neatly into the problems that you think they might be suffering from, the ones that your product is going to help solve. The majority of sales and marketing emails are trying to sell something to the recipient. They focus on the product, its features, its benefits, its price. Only people who care about this stuff are people who are already shopping for solutions or are prone to making impulse decisions. Hello there. Haha, sick. But in B2B, there are rarely impulse decisions. Any sizable business purchase is often heavily scrutinized and involves multiple stakeholders from several different departments. There is nothing impulsive about that. Research has shown that only 5% of the market is actively trying to buy a solution at any one point in time. So you might wonder, how do I get the attention of the other 95% of the market who aren't currently shopping for a new solution? Talk about the problems they may be facing, but haven't realized yet, or maybe aren't aware that there's a solution available to them. Tie the personalization that you did up front to a challenge that they might be facing. It looks like Acme just hired their 20th employee. Congrats. For most small business CFOs I speak to, they tell me that's the tipping point where their finances became unmanageable in spreadsheets. I couldn't help but notice that you're using Shopify for your online storefront. How are you liking it? Many e-commerce businesses find it a really easy and good place to start, but they find themselves overpaying on fees as their business starts to take off. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like you updated your website recently. I've heard from other retailers that it can be tough to know if these changes are having a positive or negative impact on sales, especially in the short term. See how all of these examples include an observation that ties nicely into a pain point? That right there is the secret sauce, the sweet spot that you're looking for. You've personalized your email. You've hit on a pain point that might be relevant for them. Time for your product pitch, right? Wrong. What's going to be far more interesting to your prospects is how other well-known or similar businesses have handled the issue that you introduced. Dunder Mifflin and Wayne Corp were both able to solve their payroll headaches by adopting our finance software that incorporates payroll into the rest of the business's finances. Bikes R Us were overjoyed when they switched to our platform built for more mature online businesses and saved 5% on their transaction fees without losing any functionality. Our customer Heinz found real-time website analytics allowed them to make changes before they missed out on sales. You're not selling your features, you're not going into great detail of how they did it, you're just alluding to the fact that other people in a similar position have found a better way to do it. You've personalized, you've hit on a pain point, and you've built some credibility by talking about how other people have solved that problem. Time to go for the close. Whilst typically the purpose of a cold email is to book a meeting, you don't actually want to ask for a meeting. Immediately asking for 15 minutes or 30 minutes of an important person's time is a sure way to get ignored. Most executives' calendars are absolutely rammed. You may as well be asking for $500 in cash. Instead, craft your CTA to start a conversation. Then, once you have the reply and you have some interest, asking for the meeting becomes much, much easier. So after you've built that credibility, you might say something along the lines of, would me sharing a 2-minute video with an overview of the platform be useful to you? I don't suppose high transaction fees are concerns of yours right now. Interested in hearing how they did this? So maybe your perfectly personalized and handcrafted email didn't get responded to. That's okay. In fact, it's going to happen most of the time. Data says that on average, it takes 8 touch points to get a response from a buyer. Senior buyers are very busy people. They're getting hit up by dozens of sales reps every single day. They might not have seen your email. They might have read it right before they got pulled into an important meeting and then forgot about it. Maybe the challenges that you outlined in that email didn't resonate with them. It's possible that they're not the right person at their company to talk to about this. Or maybe they're just not interested. And that's exactly why you might need to follow up and try again. The best way to go about any outbound strategy is by mixing in multiple channels, an omni-channel approach. Cold calling, LinkedIn connection requests, LinkedIn messages, LinkedIn voice notes, liking and commenting on their social media posts, video messaging, direct mailers, in-person drop-bys, and if you're feeling really daring, WhatsApp, text messaging, or FaceTime. But for this video, let's focus on following up by email, because it's the title of the video. Do leave a comment if you want a video on sales cadences though. If you want one, we'll make one. So let's say you're following up on that first email with a second email. What should you put in it? Don't send stuff like thoughts, bumping this to the top of your inbox. Did you have a chance to read my last email? That type of follow-up can really irritate buyers and lead them to unsubscribe. Obviously, the observation or pain point that you touched on didn't resonate. So experiment by switching to a different observation, pain point, and CTA. Try again. It's that simple. As with anything in life, the more times you do something, the more repetitions you get at it, the more effective and efficient you're going to become. Just like working out, you're building a muscle. So yes, use the tips in this video, but most importantly, go and practice. Your first email probably won't even be that good, and that's okay. Your 10th one, a little bit better. Your 100th one, get in there. But by the time you've sent 1,000 emails, you've got responses, you've measured your success, you're going to be a lot better. Happy sending.